I get the satisfaction of giving people a voice.
What kind of people?
Victims, to let them be heard in a time where maybe they weren't heard necessarily. I can think of two instances in my career that I know will stay with me for the rest of my life. One was when I had a victim who had been abused physically by her mom's boyfriend at the time. She was 6 or 7, and she was on the stand talking about what happened to her. And then, obviously, defense attorney asked her as well questions, and he pointed out to her that she answered my questions differently than she answered his questions. And I will never forget her response, because she just looked at me and she says, "Yes, because that's Jacqueline, and I trust her."
I really like helping people, and there's nothing that gives me more joy than when you're able to help someone, especially like people who don't know anything about the law, who don't understand the system.
I would say that out of practicing law, I get the feeling of not only helping someone, but just realizing that I made a difference in their lives. I can remember this one kid that I had. He was about 18 years old. Actually, he was 17, but he turned 18 while he was incarcerated. And he had been in and out of the juvenile system for some time, and everyone called him a lost cause. I couldn't even properly speak with the prosecutor to get him some sort of deal because they had all given up on him. But the fact that I didn't give up on him, and I was actually able to find him some sort of treatment facility and actually just help him turn his life around, just made me feel good. It made me feel like I made a difference in the world. You know, his parents even came to me about a month after he was put in this treatment program and gave me an update of how he was doing. And that just made me realize that I really do enjoy being a lawyer.
Personally, practicing law for me, it gives me an opportunity to be myself. I think that people have maybe an idea. Some people will think that being an attorney means being suited up, appearing in court, arguing before a judge, convincing a jury not to take away somebody's freedom or life, and that's obviously not an area that I would be comfortable in. I'm not comfortable suited up. My day, 90% of the time, I'm in jeans. I never have to appear in front of anybody. I get to make a difference in people's lives. I get to help people solve problems, and I give people an opportunity to be heard, to have their story told, and to be considered. And for me, that is personally very gratifying.
Being that person that people come to in their time of need. It's kind of a scary thing at first because, you know, you think you have so much going on in your own life and then you take on other people's problems. But then it is really the most satisfying thing in the world when, somebody comes up to you when a case is done and says, thank you. I was, so freaked out by this. I didn't know how it would go. And to know that, you were the person that helped them get through that tough time or whatever it might be.
Selfishly, first, I get to feel myself improve day by day, week by week. Lawyers have this incredible opportunity to constantly learn, not only about their practice, about different fields. I get to talk to medical doctors, get to talk to engineers, just about things that I would never learn if I had some other practice. Also, it pays the bills really well. That's an important aspect of it, of course. Communally, I get to help people. Throughout my career, I've got to separate children from their abusers. I've got to see families get their stuff in order, whether it be household exposure or be dangerous, bring children back to their families. I've had to have the opportunity to represent a variety of schools and universities and employers.
I get satisfaction when I actually achieve something that I didn't know I could do. And whenever I navigate through those different kinds of challenges and I'm 100% on the other side and I'm like, yeah, look at that mountain we just climbed. That hill was so high.
For me, I think the biggest thing I get out of practicing law is at its core just getting to help people, whether it be in a civil case or a criminal case. A lot of what we deal with are people-oriented problems, and trying to work through a system of law requires working with people, and helping clients is the thing that really I think is one of the biggest takeaways I get from doing my job.
I get out of law a sense of accomplishment. You're given a task or an assignment and you're able to see it through, and knowing at the end of the day you're able to help someone get a sense of justice is an incredibly worthwhile endeavor. A prosecutor is unique in the criminal justice system, that a prosecutor is the only attorney that swears an oath to seek justice. So a lot of attorneys, you represent a client, you represent an interest, a corporation. Prosecutor only seeks justice. So sometimes that might be filing a case, might not be filing a case, might be felony, misdemeanor, could mean a dismissal, could mean a whole range of outcomes. But the one thing you have to keep in mind is that you should always be seeking justice. And I find that incredibly worthwhile.
I always love helping people. So if anything, it's kind of nice to provide a sense of calm to people, especially in situations like, unfortunately, when people need lawyers, it's usually not in good situations. It's needing to get things done. Traumatic things have happened, or you've been appointed. So it's almost it's like being able to provide a sense of relief to a lot of people. So that is nice to know that I can tell people, I've got this. This is not something that I haven't done before, and I can tell you exactly what you need to do. And it's better than risking it on a Google search. So
at least a third or more of my time is spent dealing with the other problems that my clients have. Some of those problems are impeding them from being able to come to some type of a resolution of the pending case, the charges against them. And some of them are problems that maybe contributed to the circumstances in which the circumstances they were in when they were charged with a crime. And the whole reason I ended up going to law school is because I wanted to have a set of skills where I could help people. And that feels satisfying to be able to in some way assist.
Practicing law allows me to help people make the best out of terrible situations and move on with their lives in a positive way.